They say, when you disturb the rest of a pharaoh, you do not simply open a tomb. You open a door to something far darker. For thousands of years, the rulers of Egypt were buried with treasures, soldiers, and curses meant to guard their eternal sleep. Warnings carved into stone walls promised swift and violent death to anyone who dared to break the seal. Yet humans are curious, and when explorers entered these tombs, what followed were a string of deaths, accidents, and tragedies that defy logic. Tonight, we step into the shadow of the pyramids. We walk down the torchlit corridors of the dead, and we ask the question that has haunted history for centuries. Were the pharaohs' curses real, or the cruel tricks of chance and nature? The pharaoh was more than a king. He was believed to be a living god, chosen by the sun itself. His body was preserved through mummification, wrapped carefully, and placed inside sarcophagi layered one within another like sacred armor. Around him lay gold, weapons, amulets, and spells written on papyrus, treasures meant to guide him in the afterlife. To protect this eternal journey, priests painted warnings. Death will come on swift wings to he who disturbs the peace of the pharaoh. For centuries, these warnings kept robbers away. But as time passed, curiosity replaced fear. And when the modern world rediscovered Egypt's tombs, the curse seemed to awaken. 1922, the Valley of the Kings. Howard Carter stood before a sealed door, untouched for over 3,000 years. Behind it lay the resting place of Tutankhamun, a boy king who ruled at just 9 years old and died mysteriously as a teenager. When Carter's team broke the seal, they found wonders beyond imagination. Golden statues, chariots, jewelry, and the now iconic mask of King Tut. But wonder soon turned to horror. Within weeks, Lord Carnarvon, the man who funded the expedition, was dead. A mosquito bite had become infected, and newspapers called it the Pharaoh's revenge. Over the following years, others connected to the tomb died suddenly. An American millionaire struck down by pneumonia. A British aristocrat dead after a sudden fever. Carter's own canary found swallowed by a cobra, the symbol of Egyptian royalty. The press exploded with stories. The curse of the boy king. Coincidence? Or curse? Tutankhamun was not the only pharaoh said to punish intruders. In the tomb of Amenhotep, workers were crushed by falling stone blocks as if the tomb itself rejected their presence. Explorers recorded snakes slithering across golden coffins, scorpions flooding the desert floor, and eerie winds whispering through narrow corridors. Some swore they felt cold hands brush against them in the dark. Others claimed to hear whispers, voices speaking an ancient language long after everyone else had left. Even today, Egyptian locals warn outsiders, the tomb does not belong to you. Leave the dead in peace. But not everyone believes in curses. Scientists argue there are natural reasons for these tragedies. Inside a sealed tomb, untouched for thousands of years, deadly mold can grow on walls, releasing toxins when disturbed. Spores of ancient fungi can enter the lungs, slowly poisoning the body. Some stones and metals even release dangerous gases when exposed to air. This could explain why explorers grew sick, coughed blood, or suffered infections. But skeptics have one problem. If it was only science, why did the deaths seem to target those closest to the tomb, while others walked away unharmed? The legend of the curse traveled far from the sands of Egypt. In Victorian London, museums displayed mummies for eager crowds. But some artifacts earned a darker reputation. One coffin lid, nicknamed the Unlucky Mummy, was blamed for a string of misfortunes, fires, deaths, and even the sinking of the Titanic in 1912. Witnesses claimed the cursed object was secretly smuggled on board and went down with the ship. Whether fact or fiction, stories like these kept the fear alive. The Pharaohs' curse was no longer just history. It had become legend. Even today, when archaeologists enter a newly discovered tomb, silence falls. Some laugh at the idea of curses, but others cannot shake the feeling of eyes watching from the shadows. Perhaps the Pharaohs wanted their secrets to remain buried forever. Perhaps the curses were not mere superstition, but a warning across time. Myth, science, or the supernatural, the truth remains buried in the sands of Egypt. This was the cursed tombs of Egypt. If you crave more forgotten stories and haunted echoes of the past, subscribe now to the Sepulcher Echoes. But beware, some doors once opened can never be closed.